Welcome to the Lawson and Giff podcast. Make sure to hit that like button, share the videos, and subscribe. Washington makes a choice to fire Jay Gruden. I kind of understand why. The timing, though, is a little bit weird because we all knew they weren't going to beat the Patriots anyway, so why wait until after that game to fire him?
I just want to say Josh Norman's absolutely disgusting. That was my first takeaway from this whole situation. Josh Norman pretty much throwing Jay Gruden underneath the bus. What does Josh Norman know about coaching? What does Josh Norman know about performing at a high level? He performed at a high level 1 year. What has he done to help Jay Gruden? What has he done to help the Redskins? What has he done to live up to his contract and make this team better? Any other organization other than the Washington Redskins would have had him packing his bags due to his poor performance and inflated contract. I think that is the whole microcosm about the Washington Redskins. People just steal from this organization and give nothing back. And at this point, they deserve to be stolen from because they're incompetent. I mean, man, I don't think Jay Gruden did a good enough job there. Let's be real. But can anyone really succeed there? When you got people like Josh Norman, when you invest in people like Josh Norman, is anyone really going to win in that situation? I don't think so.
No, I think things have just gotten so bad for the Redskins, and firing the coach at this point, I don't really agree with it in the sense I don't think that it's the problem. With all the injuries that have happened with the Redskins, you got to look at that. On the defensive side, I think their defense would have been a lot better if they don't lose a couple guys, but you can't foresee something like that. But I don't think it's coaching. But I do think the one area where Gruden made a mistake, and I think the reason why he's getting fired and blamed for all of this, even though I don't think it's entirely his fault, is because he favorites the quarterback. And
he loves him some Colt McCoy. That was one thing that bothered us 2-3 years ago. He loves Colt McCoy for some reason.
You can't show favoritism like that. And I think that's where it got him fired, because they really should have just stuck with Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And then just rode out the storm and see what could happen and put all your chips in that way, even though nothing was going to come of it anyway. But when he pulled Keenum out, put Haskins in, that was a disaster a week ago. And then we hear after that game that he really wants Colt McCoy to be the quarterback. You can't have that as a coach. You can't show favoritism and change. Yeah, you can't do that. And I think that's what got him fired ultimately.
Yeah, and I hope Jay Gruden lands on his feet. I think within 2 weeks he'll land with the Raiders, assisting his brother, which will help because Jay Gruden used to be a good offensive mind. Mm-hmm. I guess the most startling thing about this year with Jay Gruden was, listen, I've never had a problem with his teams running the ball. I always felt like his teams were good at running the ball, even back in Cincinnati. They played physical on that offensive front, and they moved people. Now they can't block anyone. And we could talk about the defense being bad. And dude, could someone give him a wide receiver or two? How do we expect him to move the ball with no wide receivers? That's
why I don't think that the coaching was the issue.
No, it really isn't.
Then the Trent Williams on the offensive line, that whole issue, things just compiled for me too much with the Redskins between the defensive injuries, Trent Williams. You can't overcome all that. Plus, even Jordan Reed getting hurt.
Yeah, Jordan Reed wanted none of this.
Darius Geis hurt. I mean, there's just a handful of things that are the problem besides the coach. I really think that if Gruden just stuck with Keenum and didn't play around with the quarterbacks the way he did, because that is poor judgment. Putting Haskins out there when he's just simply not ready, and that hurts your team even more. You don't want a quarterback to get gun shy by throwing him to the wolves too early. You can't do that.
But maybe Redskins didn't draft the right guy. Maybe possible. They didn't, because this organization is a hot mess. And we can talk about Jay Gruden as a coach, but man, I think my takeaway is no one can win in this organization, and there's a reason why really good minds have came in here and they failed.
Well, I'll tell you what's funny is that they're playing the Dolphins this week, and all I have to say is that I think the Dolphins could actually beat them. I'm going to be picking the Redskins because I think the Dolphins are the worst team in football. But the Redskins, I think that they could lose that game. And then it won't be because of coaching. You could put anybody in there at coach right now. It's not going to make a difference.
I don't think so. With that locker room, man. Like, if I Bill Callahan, the first thing I do is I just move Josh Norman out of there. I don't care if you have to eat the salary. He probably doesn't have the power or bravado to cut him because no coach in Washington has any power. They don't have any power. They have as much power as me and you sitting here. I mean, of course, Jay Gruden can call some plays. You know, he controls what time the players come in and whatnot, but he doesn't have any power. No. I mean, no power. He's just there. He's just a patsy to work for Dan Snyder. And while Bruce Allen makes terrible moves in the front office and destroys the organization, they were actually heading in the right direction 2.5, 3 years ago with their previous GM. Then they started saying he was like an alcoholic, and all the players disagreed with it. They never seen him drunk, and he had a drinking problem 20 fucking years ago, and they're using it against him because Bruce Allen was mad he didn't draft the player he wanted. And then it's kind of ironic, everyone's saying how stupid the Giants are, and Daniel Jones, he sucks. They're making fun of him. I don't know why everyone's making fun of him the whole time. I mean, I wasn't too crazy about the draft pick either, but to say Dwayne Haskins is so much better than Daniel Jones might be the reason why this organization is where they're at. It might just be a microcosm, the same way Josh Norman's a microcosm for why this organization is complete trash and why they're playing the Dolphins and no one wants to watch this game.
Oh, yeah. And Bruce Allen, he said that this firing was necessary. Well, why? I mean, we just went through every reason why it wasn't necessary.
Why is it necessary? This dude has no power over the day-to-day.
And the GM that you mentioned, I think his name was McLaughlin.
Yeah. His name's really similar to the guy who got shit-canned by the Jets unfairly as well, who did a good job as well.
His drafts actually were a little bit better than what they're doing now. So, I mean, if you look back, Bruce Allen, I think, is actually maybe the real issue with the team.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues here. I've defended Daniel Snyder so many times, but this is a lost cause.
Oh, it is. There's no saving this. There's no saving this year. And if it keeps, if Bruce Allen is ultimately going to make the decisions, there's no saving this going forward.
No, there is no saving this. And that's what AP said to us before. He says as long as Bruce Allen's involved, things are going to always be like this. And it's just amazing they're able to be mediocre so many years. Get to 8-9 wins, but they've had they spent a lot of money and had a lot of players walk through those doors, but no one's really dedicated to the team. And it's sad to see such pretty much this franchise is the essence of Americana, man. Great logo, great jerseys, big fan base, dedicated fan base, but man, it's just pathetic. It's a laughing stock now. I don't know what, and what's Bill Callahan going to do?
Nothing.
No.
Not a damn thing.
No.
And like we said, if there's an internal problem of this magnitude, the drafts aren't going to get better.
No.
The free agent signings aren't going to get better.
It's starting to look like they already missed with Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. And
it's starting to look like they missed with him. He was terrible in preseason. He comes against the Giants. Okay, everyone's acting like they threw him in against the 2002 Ravens. Did I agree with how he was thrown in? No. But everyone was saying Jay Gruden was an idiot for not throwing him in before and for starting Case Keenum over. Then he throws Dwayne Haskins in against arguably the worst defense in this league, bottom 5 defense in this league. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then Dwayne Haskins throws 3 picks, and then I'm just supposed to blame Jay Gruden for everything? Come on now.
I do
think... Come on now.
I do think that Jay Gruden should have stuck with Case Keenum, but at the same time, would it have even made a difference?
People are acting like they threw him in against Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's rubbish.
Actually, you're right. Actually, it's a good situation to be thrown into.
It is.
Should have been able, if he was able to get anything going, that would have been a great situation to do it.
And pull your jock strap up, get ready, or don't show up to work. It's that simple. I'm biggest Case Keenum fan there is. But when that man's throwing the football, you better be ready to go in because A, he takes a lot of shots, B, throws a lot of interceptions. You better be ready anytime you see a quarterback like Case Keenum or Mitch Trubisky or playing above you. You better be ready. If you're not, that's on you. No, it says more about you than it does the guy who puts you in. And it's just so ridiculous. This is the week-to-week stuff I was talking about with when we were doing the week review. Okay, week before, everyone's saying Jay Gruden's an idiot for not putting Dwayne Haskins in. Week after, everyone's saying Jay Gruden's an idiot for putting Dwayne Haskins in. Like, what do people want?
No, that's
I'm not
true.
understanding.
No, you're right about that. And I guess that's the small mentality of some of the people that watch the game.
And this media fuels this stuff. People say, oh, the fans are the people who replace quarterbacks. No, the media does. Because once they stir it up, everyone just jumps on the train without even thinking.
Yeah. I mean, even coaches, even organizations make decisions based on that, off of what the media or perception says. And you're right. I mean, the media is so lazy. I mean, if people don't even really watch the games and are just week to week or just go online and read headlines of what happened in the game, you're not going to get the full picture. But I feel bad for Redskins fans because I don't see this getting better anytime soon. You even look at the Trent Williams situation, a player that doesn't even want to go to that organization.
And we wonder why. And if that's honestly, Trent Williams outside of Quentin Nelson on the Colts, that might be the best lineman in this league, offensive lineman. Whitworth's in that discussion, probably a few other dudes, but he's in that top 5, top 7. You take that out of a team, what do you expect? What the hell do you guys expect? I want to say this to Jay Gruden. He's probably not listening. But I want us to say, go take a vacation and join your brother. You'll get another chance because everyone knows what a joke this organization is. I feel for you, though. The way it ended, was never a big fan of you the last 2 years. But the way this ended, after what you were able to pull out of your hat last year with literally no defense and Alex freaking Smith, you can coach and you'll get another chance. Just make sure you don't go to an organization like this. That's my only advice.
And with that, subscribe at the Lawson and Giff podcast. Make sure to hit that like button, share the videos.